Hey guys, this is Dylan. So today I wanted to talk about something that happened while I was gone. That being something that happened in DC Comics. And for those of you guys who follow comic books, you'll know their shit. There's a lot of SJW weird shit going on with comics, and I could do 100 rant videos about everything wrong with comics, and I just might. I might slowly turn this channel into a more comic book centric channel, but let's talk about the thing that's in the title of this video. That being that Superman is gay. When they had coming out day, DC made a big deal about Superman coming out. Now, a lot of people heard this and they just didn't know what was going on. A lot of people got mad. A lot of people got mad because they thought Clark Kent was going to be turned gay. But no, it's not Clark. It's not even really Superman. It's the son of Superman, and in most continuities, the son of Superman would be called Superboy. But for some reason, they're calling him Superman, because I guess Superman is missing at this point. Because right now, DC's doing a whole big event where they hop into the future, except for it might not be the future, because they can't decide what is and isn't canon right now. So just know the person who came out as gay is Superboy, and he is Jonathan Kent. Now, Jonathan Kent is a character I actually liked, and I'm not just talking about Superman's father, but when they introduced Jonathan Kent, I actually really did like him. I liked how he played off Damian Wayne, which was Batman's son. I liked that he was the ideal son for the ideal father. I liked that he was just a good kid all around. Well, in this future DC event that they're doing, Superboy sucks. He's now just a whiny liberal. He thinks that he can solve things by abusing people. He thinks that he can deal with things by protesting when he is one of the most powerful beings around. He shrank Metropolis just to terrify and show his power over the people. He is nothing like his father. He is 1,000 times worse, and he is a poorly written, moody, lame character now. And it's sad because this is the character that I used to like. This is a comic that I used to follow. Superman is my favorite DC character. And it's really sad. Well, not counting Watchmen stuff. Watchmen really shouldn't even be considered DC, but that's my own thing. But out of the typical DC heroes, Superman is my favorite. And it's really sad that this kid is given the title of Superman. And the only thing they can do with it is make him a terrorist, make him a protester, and make him a whiny bitch. That is the only thing they can do with the idea of a new Superman, the idea of a new, younger Superman. I've always heard these corporations go that they want to make the characters younger to relate with the comic readers, but this new Superman isn't relating with the people who buy his comics. And I know a lot of people will be saying that, one, he's not gay, he's bi. And you're right on that. They made him bi. And the reason why they made him bi is because if it doesn't work out, if his comics don't sell, if people don't like the way his character's going, they can just default set him back to straight. So it's really their own way of copping out of making him gay. They get the benefit of having him come out as liking men, but they can always backpedal on that, and they can always just turn that in reverse and have him go back to being hetero again, because they don't actually care. They don't actually care about the things they're preaching. They don't actually care about the social issues. They just want someone to talk about them and want someone to pat them on the back. And number two, people would say that, well, this comic has to be doing good because it's getting reprints. Well, if you actually look at the sales of comic books, which is actually really pathetic, the sales, what consider to be reprintable now, is nothing like what it would be in the 90s, or hell, even the early 2000s. Back then, it was common to see books getting multiple reprints. This wasn't something to brag about. This wasn't a big deal. This was just business as usual. So now the fact that DC feels like they can brag about one reprint, that's a bad sign. Like, getting one reprint is not a big deal. It's not anything worth bragging about. It's honestly sad. And that's this whole fucking deal. There's nothing to be happy about here. They took a character that had infinite potential, a character that could have been anything, could have been iconic, and they ruined him. In 10 years from now, he is just going to be a reminder of a dated era. And it's the same thing, ironically enough, that happened to the original Superboy. The original Superboy was a concept came up with in the early age of comics, and he was just so cliched for the time that he ended up being forgotten about. And then they tried to do Superboy again in the 90s, and that Superboy was super duper 90s. He had a leather jacket, he had sunglasses, he had terrible lingo, and he became so dated that they forgot about him and then introduced another Superboy in the 2000s, and he's also really dated now. He wore jeans, a black t-shirt. A lot of you guys will remember him from Young Justice, but he's also really dated. He was an edgy, tough alternative. He was like, oh yeah, I'm not Superman, I resent him. And that's just what's been happening with the idea of a Superboy for so long now. And I don't care if they call him Superman. I don't care if they pretend like they're going to actually stick to this and commit to this. They're not. Everyone knows that DC is not going to commit to this. They are going to bring back Clark. They are going to bring everything back to normal. They'll tell you that they're really serious this time, and they'll tell you that they're really committed this time to it, but they're not. So, I'm not mad about Superman or Superboy being bi. I'm not mad about DC doing any of this, because I don't buy their comics. Now, do I think that this is going to hurt the brand of Superman? Do I think that this is going to ruin the character? For some people. But I think anything can be forgotten over time. I've seen a lot of things happen in comics, a lot more controversial than this. This is a character that's only existed for about 10 years, this version of Superboy, so I really don't give a damn about him. And they could kill him off tomorrow and I wouldn't care. But I'm not going to read his comic, and I'm not going to start buying Superman comics until the Superman that I grew up with is back. The one that does fight for truth, justice, and the American way. The one that doesn't abuse people. The one that actually cares about people's rights and people's freedoms, and does what needs to be done to save the day. Someone who is a beacon of hope, someone who is a beacon of virtue, and someone whose comics doesn't need gimmicks like this to sell him. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little rant about Superman or Superboy. If you guys liked this video, hit the like button. If you really like it, share it. If you want to see more, and subscribe. Yet again, if you want to hear me bitch more about comic books, tell me down below. I'm very interested because I know a lot about comics and I have a lot to say about comics. So yeah, bye guys.